After spending 1.5 days in Gili Gede, I decided to go and explore Gili Asahan.
This is what the island looks like. Alright, let's explore. Of course, there are cows. I haven't seen any people yet. And this is some sort of a village, I suppose. If I were here at night, this is how horror movies start. And also the window there got a hit. Hello, lady. Do you guess that someone lives here? I've been here now for 20-15 minutes. There is the first human. Oh, more, okay. There's the whole village. A little party happening here. Hey, there are tourists. I saw 2 tourists. Okay, I found a spot to swim. And this is what's behind me. As you can see, there's no one. So I got dropped off here around 8:30. Now it's 5 minutes to 9. And the plan is I'm gonna walk around the island, stop by at places like this that I really like, to swim, explore, read, enjoy my time here, get the most out of this island. From my understanding, there is only one restaurant here. It's that one where you saw the tourists. So by lunchtime, around 12, I'm planning to get back there.
As I said, I decided to go around the island and explore, but there is not just a gently sloping beach everywhere. There are hills, there are rocks, there are abandoned beaches with just hanging trees, so you cannot simply just get through. While I was walking, I faced a huge rock and I could not just simply continue my walk along the coast, so I had to find an alternative route. I had to go over it, and there was like a little bit of a hill, so I had to go over the hill, and this is how I ended up in a local village.
So there are goats, but I don't see people. There's literally like no humans. Actually, people invest in land here. They don't live, but they just invest, and they tell me that it appreciates. So maybe it's a lucrative investing opportunity. I consider it a true miracle because somehow I'm on the right track and I can see the ocean. Still, I haven't seen any people, so even if I kind of got lost, but I couldn't ask anyone.
Excuse my blissful ignorance, but I'm really curious about who they are protecting themselves against, because there is literally no people. Maybe sharks.
So I went for a swim, and I should say be careful while swimming because it gets deep very quickly. I'm 173 centimeters, and after like 3 steps out in the ocean, I could not touch the bottom anymore. The current is not strong, but the waves are quite strong. So when the wave drags back, I could not get out of the ocean. I'm a confident swimmer. I think I understand the ocean a bit, so I did not panic, but I can imagine that for someone who doesn't swim as confidently, it can be a bit like frightening. Also, the ocean is not clean. So while I was getting out of the ocean, I got tangled in the plastic thingy, so like that was not pleasant as well, but I got out. Because of course, while you're swimming on your own. There is no one, literally no one, there are only cows. I don't know what would have happened if I had screamed like help or anything. I don't know if somebody would have reacted. So just be careful and be mindful while swimming. Maybe don't swim out too far. Just maybe stay close to the shore. We need to start walking because I don't know how far we are from that place. And I want to have lunch there. So I'm gonna just start walking and maybe stop to swim again when I know that I can actually cross that side. I think I should be able to, like, see, there is the ocean there. So I think it should be fine, but let me just try, and then from there, I'm also not sure how the road will be. Here it just there is no road, so let's see, because I don't want to get hungry. I have some nuts and I have a 1.5 bottle of water. Oh gosh, I hope they're friendly. Another abandoned house. Well, it was built for tourists. I mean, it's dirty and abandoned and it's not well maintained, but imagine if everything was clean. This is such a fantastic place. Water here is a bit more hostile. We are now in the open ocean. This is direction Australia. Okay, another interesting situation. I'm not sure if I can walk just on the beach. Oops. Oh, it was quite spiky. Yeah, I can't. You see, there are rocks there,
and I had to find another route again.
So the only way is I need to climb this hill or go back. I made a guess that there must be another path that is less steep, because from the ocean direction the path is very steep, and I'm thinking like must be another one. So I'm currently exploring. Here is a path. I cannot complain, it's a little bit of an exercise, as long as I'm not gonna face here some wild tigers. I should be fine. Joke's on me, because here I still don't know how this adventure is going to turn out. It's quite steep. It's actually, yeah, quite steep, yeah. I found a trodden path and decided to follow it, but at some point it became invisible and it just stopped. I lost it. I had to crawl and walk in a squat because of the bushes. I don't know what kind of bushes they are, but they are spiky. I had a beach towel and I covered myself with the beach towel just to protect myself, to protect my skin, but I still had scratches everywhere in my body. Urgent advice, don't do that. I'm right now at the top of this thing, but had I known the road, the path, I wouldn't have done it again. The view here is amazing. And luckily I have water and I have nuts, so I'm not, well, I'm so puffed, I cannot even think about food right now. But it was like there was lots of bushes and they were scratching me. Probably if there was a good path, like a good walking path, it would have been fine, but there was not. And I have no idea how I'm gonna get back to the other side, but right now probably it's the same distance if I go back there where I came from, or if I go back here. So I'm just gonna go back there. Hopefully I'm gonna get to the right side. But don't do that, really don't, especially if you just have bikini on and barefoot. You know, I'll have to laugh if people ever ask me, Tanya, are you adventurous? It's a miracle that I made it all the way to the crest of the hill. Now I could not turn back. If only I can make it to the bottom of the hill, then it's only 100 meters or like a few hundred meters and I'm at the restaurant. But there was a tiny problem. There was no path. Now let me paint the picture. It's humid, it's plus 35 degrees Celsius, and I'm getting exhausted. I decided to give it a shot, but I was not going down anymore. In fact, I was climbing up, like my movement was more like upwards than downwards, because there was no path, and because of the bushes you just don't see where you're going, you just don't see anything. I wasn't walking anymore, I was crawling or walking in a squat because of the bushes. They were on top of me and I couldn't simply stand straight. I didn't see where I was going anymore. I just saw bushes everywhere and I thought, okay, only 1 minute, only 2 minutes, and then it's gonna get better. But it was not getting better. It didn't get better at all. At some point I started panicking. It hit me that I am alone on this island. I don't know the area. I don't know if there are any dangerous insects or animals, and if I fall, there is no one to help me. On top of that, I wasn't sure anymore if I can find the way back. So I got quite scared. Don't come at me, okay, saying that, Tanya, how did you decide to do it in the first place? I did not have all the information available, okay? I just thought it's a small hill and I can quickly go over it. We are all wise in the hindsight, and especially when it comes to judging other people. The reason why I still decided to tell you the truth and open up about it is because my channel is all about being raw and authentic. I want to come across as myself, and if I make mistakes, that's okay. Yeah, it was a stupid decision, but I took that decision. I feel responsible for that decision. I dealt with the consequences of that decision and I extracted some lessons. And that's okay.
That's okay to make mistakes. And if you are as adventurous as I am, maybe dial down on it a little bit if you're traveling on your own on a scarcely populated island. I found a way back somehow, not the way back, but some way back. But the story is not over yet. I ended up in another village on my way to the ocean. So if you imagine like the hill is here and the ocean is here, I was going down the hill, and on my way to the ocean there was a village blocking my way, so I could not simply get through and get to the ocean. And the villages there are not built in a very intuitive way, at least with the European mindset. You just simply cannot figure out how to get through. On top of that, there are herds of cows. Cows are usually docile, but they have horns. And I don't know what they're gonna do if they panic. Because on that island, they're also not used to people. And guess what? Those herds of cows were blocking my way to the ocean. I chose not to try to go through them, and I was desperately looking for a way out. Finally, I stumbled upon a local person there who looked really shady. He had some red on his lips and on his mouth. I thought it's some inflammation, but later I was explained that they're using some sort of mushroom or herb or root to clean their teeth, and it leaves red color. But I didn't know it back then. So imagine someone who's 120 centimeters tall with some sort of inflammation on his mouth looking at me without any teeth, and I just got terrified. But he was my hope. He was my hope to get out. So I asked him to scare off the cows so I could pass, and he sort of helped me. So I could get to the ocean, and now I'm on my way back. Remember, there was a rock on my way, and I had to go through a local village to pass it. So now I was going back the same way, but guess who was on my way? Of course, another herd of cows. Who else? I found some local men there in the village, so I had to go back a little bit, and I asked them to help me to scare off the cows. I asked them via Google Translate, but they either didn't understand or didn't want to understand, and they kind of explained that I should follow the beach line, so I should go around the rock. It didn't make much sense to me, but at that point I was drained, I was just exhausted, I was dead, I was desperate, I was scared, and I just wanted it to be over as soon as possible. So, and they were not super helpful. It didn't make sense to continue the conversation with them, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna follow their guidance. By the way, people in Gili Gede are much more friendly and helpful than people in Gili Asahan. I did not find them friendly at all, to be honest. So here I am trying to go around this rock, but it was still a very dubious decision because the tide just started getting low, and I had a heavy bag full of electronic devices, so I could not get them wet. And on top of it, of course, I was also scared because there were still waves, and the waves were crashing against the rock. And if a wave is strong enough, it could just smash me against the rock. I was in survival mode. I just went through with that. It took me 3 to 5 minutes to get to the beach. And once I stepped on the beach, I was like, thank God I'm safe and sound. I think it's still a miracle because I looked back and I saw some big heavy waves just crashing against the rock, and I was like, thank God I'm not there anymore. I was extremely lucky. I got back to the restaurant, had a quick lunch there, and my boat driver picked me up and we went to Gili Layar. Don't ask me how come I still had the energy and the strength to go and explore another island. Well, to be fair, it was not really exploring and discovering. I just got there and I went snorkeling. So what I'm gonna do here in Gili Layar, I'm going to just snorkel. I'm gonna maybe walk along the beach. Nothing too crazy, you know, I'm not gonna walk around the island. No, thank you. Gotta just chill, read a book, and yeah, maybe I'll take a mask and fins and we'll go snorkeling. I have here until 4, so now it's 20 past 2, so like around 1 hour and a half. I'm absolutely done with this day.
just everything that could go wrong went wrong. I went snorkeling, but the tide, and I knew that there was low tide, but I'll show you. I got small scratches and bruises because of the coral reef. Is it worth coming here? Yes, absolutely. I think it's a nice experience for a couple of days, but the thing is that currently boats running here only 2 times a week, on Mondays and Fridays. So you cannot come here for a couple of days. Would I come back? Probably not.